Oh, apologies there. Had it facing the window view. Sorry about that, guys. Just backing this up here, getting it set up to film. Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Mary from Country Chic Paint. Oh, we're tilting. We're tilting. Hello. Just gonna wait for some people to come on, then we'll get started. Gonna do a little decor sign with you guys today. Just gonna get set up here. It is 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time here in BC, Canada, where I'm filming from. Just gonna do a project from home. Hello, got somebody on. That's great. Just gonna make sure I can find the video. Okay, now I can talk to you. Hi, I'm Mary from Country Chic Paint. Thanks for joining. I'm just gonna be doing a home decor sign with this, brand new, still in the package. Got some stuff ready to show you guys. Okay, hi, Mary from Country Chic Paint. Okay, just gonna wait for a few more people to come on before I start the project here. If you're coming from Country Chic Paint, maybe you're subscribed to our newsletters or on Instagram, you may have heard that I do a couple of episodes on our YouTube channel, just painting from home, a couple projects, maybe you have some pieces or just anything laying around. Yesterday I did a lampshade. I actually want to show you that now if you don't mind. Finished it in dune grass, just the lampshade. This is what I did yesterday. This was just 2 coats of dune grass. It's absolutely beautiful. It was a cream color underneath. You can see the original. So I've just painted over 2 coats. Haven't sealed it with anything. You can seal fabrics and textiles and upholstery with wax if you'd like, natural wax, just clear. I could do that with this. Just haven't. So that's the project from yesterday. Make sure you subscribe to the channel or just check out the past live videos where I did this one. So that's that. So for everybody who's watching right now, just pop into the comments and let me know how you're doing, where you're coming from, and we'll get started. So again, I'm Mary from Country Chic Paint. I'm coming to you from BC, Canada, where Country Chic Paint is from as well. So I've got this sign brand new in the package. I admit it came from Michael's, so I didn't have it just laying around, didn't make it or anything. Plastic cover off, just a nice simple pine wood. You can get them at any craft store really, just any craft panel. What I want to do is make a home sweet home decor sign. I am a bit of a painter myself, but I'm not very good with words. So I printed off this handy, it's backwards for you, but just make sure you reverse the image. Sorry about that, may have lost you, I'm not sure what happened. Looks like the stream was interrupted. Apologies. Sorry. We're back. Okay, so I had printed this image off the internet. It just says home sweet home. I reversed the image before I printed it off, and I just used some artist pencils that I've got. This is, I'm not going to pronounce that, it's German. It's just some simple drawing pencils. I took the softest leaded pencil that is a 6B in this set. So you can test if you can draw on your finger and see it pretty easily. That's a good pencil to use for tracing. All I had to do was just press down gently over the areas that I want to transfer onto this board. Then it will look like a very talented hand-painted work of art. I'm ignoring just those details because I want to add some of the flowers that I've already painted behind me just on that wall. So I'm just going to do the home sweet home. But before I get started, I don't really like just the plain wood look, so I'm going to use Country Chic Paint's Smoky Quartz. This is just a 4-ounce sample. Going to shake it up, make sure the product gets mixed in there. Oh, hey Bren from Winnipeg, thanks for watching. Hope you have some of these at home, so you might want to try this project out. Oh, brand new jar. You know what? Sorry, this is a brand new jar. I'm just going to try and find an open one. Okay, so I've got, here's our pint for comparison. I use a lot of smoky quartz. This is my favorite glaze, and it's sealed too. Good day. Okay, sometimes keep your edges clean so it's easier to open next time. So I've got my glaze here. It is a warm chocolate tone. Love this color. You can use this on the tops of furniture if you want that stained look. You can also use it on plain wood pieces to dress them up. All you need is a damp cloth to wipe the excess off after you're done brushing it. So I've got my overbrush here, just dipping it in. This is just dry wood, haven't prepped it. It is raw wood, so it's easy to apply straight to that. It's going to soak it right up. Just going to go up and down. I don't want a patchy look. Just going to cover the whole surface. What this is going to do is lightly stain the surface. You don't want to leave it on or it will just tack up. It's not a paint. You can also water down paint for a similar effect, but the glaze does remain just a bit more than a wash of paint, I find. But it does do in a pinch, but I love the glaze. So this is just one little coat. It looks dark to me, but probably not in the camera. Make sure you get your edges. It would look weird for two tones coming through on this side. I'm going to wipe it all off at the same time. You don't really want to let the glaze sit for more than a minute or so before you wipe it off. So just getting all my edges here. This kind of product works really good if you're wanting to just stain paint, give it an antique finish. You can brush this right over top of dried paint, and then when you wipe it away, it will remain in the details and the crevices and give a really nice aged effect. Just going to push that off to the side. I've got a damp cloth here and a little dish of water. Just going to make sure it's still damp. And all I'm going to do is just work in a motion, same up and down kind of thing that I was applying it with. A little hard to hold and look up. And just brush that off. This wood was very porous, so it soaked it right up. I don't need to do another coat. If I would just wait for this to dry maybe for about 10 minutes, 10-20 minutes, and then go back over it again. Do the same thing. And I have a really nice stained look. This you can do with almost any project. So that's the original wood side, and here's the stain with smoky quartz. We have quite a few other tints. There's a black one called graphite, which is really nice if you're going for a cooler look. We also have shimmer and sparkle ones that look great over light paint colors for effect. Oop, there's the cap for that. So just needed the one coat of my smoky quartz. Don't need to do any more with this awesome glaze today. Okay, oh, and just one more thing. I wanted to share a coupon since you are watching. If you go onto countrychicpaint.com or .ca, you can use Dune10 for 10% off the website, just a little discount. That's good for a week, so be sure you try that out. You don't have to get dune grass. That's just the color I was using yesterday, and probably today. Okay, so I just want to dry this off very briefly here with my hairdryer because you can't work on a wet surface with paint. So just gonna bear with me with the sound, apologies. This is just gonna be a low heat setting. I love that wood grain. That's just dry enough to work with. If you're doing your own project, make sure you wait just a little bit longer. Putting in all the effort, want to do it right. So I've got the Home Sweet Home sign. I've already pressed a little soft leaded pencil down on here. It won't work with just the ink. Just gonna make sure it's flat. Just centering my project here. Make sure it's where I want it. So I've lined it up and bumped it. This is ink paper down, ink side down. Just gonna take a thumbnail and press along the areas that I know I wrote over. And all I'm doing is pushing the lead into it. And you can paint over pencil very easily. Unlike other paints, it doesn't take a lot of coats, just a few, maybe even one, and you won't see it anymore. Make sure you reverse the image. I have done a project where I forgot to, and traced it all out and pressed it down, and then realized that my own last name was backwards on like a family project I was working on. So just make sure you're doing the steps right, because it's kind of easy to miss if you're not paying attention. So I'm just gonna peek. I'm definitely seeing it come through here. You kind of want to fill in all the words because then it is easier to see once you've pressed it down. You could just outline them so you're not spending so much time penciling, but it really does help to have as much transfer on there as possible, because when you take that away it's just a blank canvas. So really make sure you have a guide set up for that. Oh, thank you, Samantha. I used all of the country chic paints for that, mixed a few. It's just brown packing paper. That's a glass window behind me. Hard to film against, so wanted to decorate it. Just gonna make sure I've gotten every letter. Might find that your fingertips get a little hot with the friction. I've used plastic cards, like credit cards. Those can work too, but sometimes you can tear up the paper or scratch up the surface underneath. So just be a little careful what you're using to transfer. Okay. Okay, I think I have it the way I like it. So that's the paper side, and that's what I've got so far. Very nice. It is slightly off to the side. This is a home project for me. So I do want to use a white to make those letters pop. So I'm just going to grab some vanilla frosting to make that happen. Sorry, some of my bottles are separated from the other ones. I like to just work with the tops of lids and bottles when I'm painting, just so I don't have a whole bunch of trays on the go. I'm gonna grab some of my country chic paint artist brushes. These are really handy. You can use them on regular furniture that you can't get into the crevices of, or making handy signs like these. So I like to have the brush just a little wet here while I work. And I'm going to try and get this closer to you. Apologies, one moment. See if we can focus on that just a little better. Okay, maybe you can see what it is that I'm working on. Sorry about the filming here, guys, it's live. Okay, so I've got my vanilla frosting, which is a slight off-white with a yellow tone. Country Chic Paint has a few whites. You can check them out on their colors page. Crinoline and Vanilla Frosting are probably my two favorites. They're the off-whites. Crinoline has a pink tone, whereas this one has a bit of a warm tone. So I'd say it's an antique off-white. Cheesecake is a little warmer and creamier. And then Simplicity is our brightest white. So pretty good coverage just so far with the first few lines that I've done. You want to make sure you get over all of your pencil marks. It's just coloring in at this point, and then I want to add some flowers and dress it up. Let me know in the comments if you guys have ever done anything like this. I learned this technique in grade school. Just how to transfer things. You can also use, I think, an inkjet printer or something, and wax paper can transfer, making a mess here, can transfer images very easily. Don't have to just do fonts. I've seen people do whole pictures or designs. This is a great way to make signs without a Cricut or any other stenciling tool. Tiny little E there. And that's the home so far. Done. Let me know in the comments what you guys think so far. What kind of signs you would like to have up in your house. I've always wanted a home sweet home sign. I really would love like a cross-stitch sign, that would be cute, but I'm making my own with paint here. Definitely more talented with paint than cross-stitching. Okay. There's a bit of a swirl here. I'm lifting up lifting up the brush when the areas call for a really thin line, and then really pressing down when it is thicker. That's kind of how you create that look, just in case if you hadn't tried this at all yourself. It's kind of how they do it. So very light pressure around the edges, and more on that side. And I'm doing rather thin lines because I want it to dry fast. So later I think I will go over it one more time just because I can see some of my pencil marks. But I think for the purpose of this video it's working. You can see where I forgot kind of important parts of letters. Always important to just make sure before you've finished tracing that you have traced every part that you wanted. Because it might be hard to line this back up and push it down and try again. I have a steady hand. Thank you. I'm actually a little shaky. Cameras make me nervous sometimes, but this is very fine work that I'm trying not to drop in front of you, so. It is tricky when you are painting over a stained surface. If I were to drop my brush, I could really quickly wipe it up. The paint is easy to clean if you're quick. But then sometimes you get a little bit of a blemish on the stained finish. So if you are working for the very first time doing some lettering or this kind of project, maybe just paint the background, because then you can always touch it up with paint. A lot easier than touching up a stain. But this is still quite a bit of fun for me. And then also make sure you don't have any paint on your wrists, because that is where you transfer it where you don't want. I do that every time. just in case anybody else has those problems. You definitely want to add more colors, maybe some greenery. I have very gray and blah decor in my own home, but I like pops of color, bright pillowcases, anything like that, and then just gray furniture, lots of gray furniture, and then painted stuff. So that's the suite so far, working on it. And anytime I feel like I have too much, I really just kind of flatten it out. Having a near empty brush or always clean is a good idea. Otherwise you're just working with too much paint on too small of a area. Doesn't end well. Alright, just gotta clean up that line. Last word down. Worst comes to worst, if you mess up, just turn it into a flower. That will be a flower. Last letter. Almost have too much paint on the brush again, but I'm lazy. I'm gonna press on. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Home sweet home. Gonna add some details now to it. Rinse out my brush. Okay, so I think I need some dark roast and a bunch of colors. I really like dark roast as a base for stems and other projects. Oh. Nope. Okay, let's find our ones. Just pulling off the shelf all the colors that I think I want to use. This is kind of just how I do it. I sort of just throw things around and see what looks good. There is no real rhyme or reason to some of my decisions. Always need a nice green like fireworks for leaves. This is Fancy Frock, the really nice minty blue there. Kind of like a happy hour, but a bit bluer. Ooh la la, mermaid's tail. That's good for me. Okay. I want a pop of color. I need red. And a bit of sage advice. So, got some of my colors. That's what I'm gonna go with. And I'm just gonna kind of add some details. Oh, sorry, I forgot dark roast. There you are. Make sure you shake any of your jars that have been sitting for a while. Product collects at the bottom. So just want to have a really fine detailed brush for my stems. Makes an easier point, I find, if it just has a bit of water to it. A bit sharper. So this is dark roast. This is my nice go-to brown. It's a dark neutral coffee roast color. Thin that out a bit. There we go. Okay. So just gonna add some elements here. Not enough paint, not enough water. It's much easier to add than take away. So I don't want to do too much right away because I won't be able to paint over it with the stain behind it. But make a bit of elbow room here. Alright. Oh, is that already my... Nope. Good, we're good. I don't know about you, but I can make a lot of mess painting. Always helps to have the corner of the house or something, or just a table nobody seems to go to. Make that your painting corner and tell everybody to go away. That's what I do. Just a nice little curl right there. Gonna add some blossoms to these. These are branches, if you were guessing. Artistic branches. And there's no plan. I'm just kind of going with the flow, have a general idea. The words kind of have this like motion to them, so I'm just going to try and balance that out. We go from here now. A little bit more water, helps it glide. Too much water, too much water. There we go. So that's just a little idea, kind of what we've got so far. And rinse that out. Gonna use some of my colors now. I think I just need some lines at the bottom. Gonna make some, let's see. Gonna make some of those and some of those. Yeah. Very, very fine lines, very light pressure. I have a couple of extra brushes that I use that have very long, I don't know, bristles here. Those are really good for creating stems if you can find a long set of brushes. I get some of mine from the dollar store or Walmart. Anything really. Make sure you just have synthetic bristles when you're working with chalk style paints like these. They work the best. The natural bristles can kind of absorb too much water sometimes, for my liking. And then of course we've got our artist brushes on countrychicpaint.com. Fantastic brushes. I use them all the time. These ones are great for creating leaves and blossoms. You don't have, it's I don't remember what that technique is called, just where you have a little bit of two different colors on the brush and you just make little actions and you can create leaves and flowers. It's beautiful. Those are great brushes for that. Alright, just a few lines at the bottom too. I think I wanted to do this. A bit shaky. Let me try that again. So I've just added a few extra lines to the design. And I've got my finger in paint already. That did not take long. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to add some, I think I want ooh la la little roses. Grandma's going. Yeah. Everybody probably has some time to get some crafting done. This would be a great idea, just if you're trying stuff out and you have supplies on hand. I'm going to do my first little rose here, maybe rose buds just at the bottom. See if I can somehow kind of get in and show you. Just doing little teardrops at first, just adding shapes, that's all there is to it. So a teardrop with two little kind of points on either side gives the illusion of petals. I don't know if anybody watching is like me, but I'm kind of the weird person that takes walks in nature and is always really up close to greenery and taking pictures of flowers. I'm really annoying when I go on walks with people. Hold on, one picture of this blade of grass catching dew. I'm very, it's a great way to find some inspiration. Okay. So I've got a couple of flowers in Ooh La La. It's the soft blush pink. Looks really good on French provincial furniture, by the way. That's that pink there. And this is Sage Advice. Very sage-like, I would say. I would have splotches and paint all over that by now and it would not look as pretty. My first stained sign did. Everything had an extra flower where it shouldn't be. Those were mistakes that I covered up. So it's very easy. I'm gonna add some leaves to the sides of these. And they're gonna be bigger, smaller, random sizes. Just gonna add a couple leaves to the sign, the actual word parts, just because. So very little of every color. In the end, it all kind of comes together very nicely. I like it. Gonna do some blue flowers. Not a lot of blue flowers here in Vancouver Island, but I like them. Gonna try it out. Try not to get my hair in the paint again. That happens often. Wear a hair tie. Just gonna make some dots here. These are going to be little blue flowers. And I kind of want it to balance out on the other side, so maybe I'll just do one here. If you have the time and no one is bugging you, it can be very relaxing, this kind of project. So definitely, if you can, take some time out of your day and try this out. This is a very bright color called Luminous. I just wanted a pop of it in some places. And just looking behind me at the wall here for some ideas. I painted these earlier. Curious which ones I should go with. I like my little yellow ones. See? Already making a mess. Just be careful. I've seen some really cool furniture pieces with this color. It is a very bright color. It might not be for your decor, but I saw a white piece of furniture that had very bright yellow stencils, kind of like a china pattern, and they did that with either they painted luminous first, and then they used white stenciled flowers on there. Looked gorgeous. So if you have a bright color that you're trying to incorporate into your house, maybe just use it as a stencil over top of other decor to bring it in. If you're worried about having a totally overpowering yellow color, I would say this is a very zesty, almost lemon-like color. Absolutely love it. Gonna put some pink centers, I think, in there. I'm gonna go over the sign a bit. Flowers are gonna be in front. And just one off to here. I think I'm gonna have that color, that flower be a different color. Really just kind of going with it. You can create your own however you like. It helps to Google. That's honestly what I started doing. I just typed in flower illustrations, flower drawings, flower cartoons, simple, just looking for keywords. And those kind of just give you some great ideas on just how to make some basic lines that form gorgeous flowers. So you're not always doing the simple daisy or, you know. So it's kind of fun to try. Put that off to my collection. Just rinsing them out. Okay, and I do want to use a mermaid's tail. This is, you can't quite see it in the jar. Shaking it up. Haven't used these in a bit. Okay, this is mermaid's tail. It's kind of a periwinkle purpley blue. Very, very light pastel. Love it. Okay, gonna do the same thing. Actually, we're gonna do this a little differently. Gonna make a flower with floppy petals. So that's kind of what we've got going on so far. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if I should stop. This is awful. Maybe you have some color suggestions. Let me know what kind of palette you would like to do. What are your go-to colors? I find myself loving the neutrals and the gem tone colors, but right now with spring kind of into the pastel, so it could just be being affected by the seasons here, but let me know what you guys would go for. So that's one little flower. I want to use peachy keen on something. I think I'm going to do vines actually. Vines. So I have to wait for that to dry before I can add details to those ones. So I'm just going to use Fireworks, which is this lovely Kelly green. That pretty coral pink. Ooh, peachy keen. Yes. That's on the plan. Just need a good clean here. Yeah. I'll add these to the flowers. I'm gonna make some, sorry, odd angle here. I'm gonna make some flowers on the vines, and I'm gonna use peachy keen, that coral. That's what I used on the big flower in the background. Oh, I think that is a dot. That's gonna have to be a flower too. Okay, so I'm gonna use the brush again. Just gonna make some vines kind of trailing down, just off to the side here. Which way should I go? Okay. Just little ones. just planting out my leaves, kind of scattering them out. One here for sure. Okay, just a few. Need that thinner brush again now for the lines, and going in again with dark roast. So all I've done is just add a few leaves to the top here, and I'm going to go in with brown to make the branches. I should get my terminology right. It's a nice little thin line. And a wavy line for this guy. Need a bit of water. So that's the first few vines there, kind of adding. Just very colorful, whimsical sign. Definitely what I was going for. Now I could finish this off with a Tough Coat, which is a perfect sealant for something if you want to keep it outside. I like to have just signs kind of in my garden, so I might just hang this up on the wall of the fence, kind of looking out. Or this would be a good entryway sign for your own house maybe, or a gift for a friend. I think gifts that are made by someone are much more special than something ordered offline. It's kind of fun. So for Peachy Keen, that is this lovely apricot peach color. I'm gonna go in and make some flowers on the vines. And these are gonna just be kind of like cherry blossoms. If I can make that look like a cherry blossom. There we go. Wrong color for the leaves, but oh well. And on here as well. It's a little bit of blossom, and there is that underneath here. I want to decorate. And I think I'm just going to add a bit of wax to the edges to darken it up. I kind of like the way it is. Oh, just got to fill in this line and then I'm done with the design. Side is dried now. That should have a leaf to it. Alright, so I think that's kind of how I'm going to leave it for today. This is the decor sign that I've got so far. I do want to use just a bit of natural wax. This is something that I like to do with my signs. I'm just going to show you here. This is Country Chic Paint's black wax. Works great on furniture. Oop, got it. Just going to take my shop cloth that I have here and boost you up a bit. Okay. So just going to take a small smidge of black wax on the edge of the brush, on the cloth here. Ooh, that is the film that I forgot to peel off. Okay. All I like to do is just kind of brush it on along the sides. And this creates just like a vintage weathered effect. And I would do it on the seams here, the edges and the grooves. I want it definitely darker on the bottom and on the top. And I'm avoiding areas that are still wet, just waiting for this all to dry. But just gonna add, this kind of gives it like a grungy, modern farmhouse look, if you're looking for that, which I am a fan of. Just make sure I get it all over. Alright, and then taking a cleaner part of the cloth, just going to buff off some of the excess. Got to see what I'm doing. Don't touch the wet paint. And now that's bringing out the grain in the wood and the stain. This is a great combination. A little black wax and smoky quartz is my favorite thing. And those edges. And now it's just kind of a little darker, a little moodier, just on the corners there. Maybe you can see, got some definition going on. So that's this project for today. I hope you guys liked it. I hope I was entertaining just a little bit while you're stuck at home. Hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you're interested in seeing more great ideas. I usually come on at 11 PST, Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast, and I would love to see you watching another video and commenting. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, rest of your week, whatever's going on. So I'm just going to sign off here. Enjoy the sign, and have a wonderful day.